Your name, sir?
My name is Max Obuszewski. I'm with the Pledge of Resistance Fund Our Communities, Baltimore.
And we're out on the Wyman Park Bridge today. And what's the occasion?
Today is Earth Day, April 22nd, 2013. It's been traditional for us in the Pledge of Resistance to come out and highlight the fact that if we're going to save the planet, we have to shut down the Pentagon. Military spending is destroying Mother Earth. When you have a military budget that's over 50% of the discretionary budget, we can't survive. A Humvee, for example, gets maybe 8 miles to the gallon on a good road. In a place like Afghanistan, maybe 4 miles to the gallon. There's over 1,000 foreign outposts. Imagine all the people have to be flown in, all the supplies have to be flown in. There's depleted uranium. There's the nuclear weapons. There's the toxic chemical dumps, whether it's Aberdeen, whether it's Fort Detrick. So I'm actually speaking today at Loyola College on their Earth Day, and I'm going to be bringing up that we have to stop the Pentagon from destroying Mother Earth. Ecocide is being committed on our planet. There's many, many examples that we could give of what's happening. Temperatures are rising. We have like a flood situation right now in the Midwest. We had this horrible storm, Sandy. There are people, as I understand it, in Rockaway Beach that still don't even have electricity. So unless people stand up and do something about military spending, the Pentagon and all of its accoutrements, this planet is going to be destroyed. This is a valuable planet. I'm not going to stand around and do nothing. I have to speak out. So every Earth Day we come out on the bridge and remind people, as one of the signs says here, Pentagon destroying Mother Earth.
And Max, let me just look at this band, the arms sale, and then down the way here. Now, when you talk about expenses for war, they came in with the bill for the Iraq War, and they said it could be as high as $4 to $6 trillion.
Yeah, and that doesn't even factor in the human costs. I mean, I'd be the last person to condemn a veteran that needs help. We know that it's a disaster at the Veterans Administration for people applying for disability, for people suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. These folks are going to need care for maybe 40 years after they're out of the military. Who in the world is going to pay for this? We cannot have what's going on in this country continue. I watched Amy Goodman the other day, and Ellen Narn was in. Rios Montt, who the Reagan administration was supporting in Guatemala, was committing genocide of the native people of Guatemala. And Amy Goodman showed a clip of Ellen Narn debating one of Reagan's advisors. And Narn accused him of committing genocide, working with this evil dictatorship in Guatemala, and that he should be put into the docket and charged as a war criminal. The guy was laughing about this. Is what it's remarkable to me that a country like Guatemala even had a trial. It's been suspended. It'll probably never be completed. But at least this little country of Guatemala put these people in the dock. The idea here, we have to look at foreign countries. Henry Kissinger, one of the architects of many disasters, including Vietnam, Cambodia, etc., goes to France, and there's a warrant for his arrest, so he has to leave France, so he can't leave the country. That's solace to me, but is it possible someday in this country that these people who are committing ecocide, genocide, murder, mass murder, will ever be put into the dock? That's the question I'm asking the audience. Can it ever happen?
Max, I think you mentioned depleted uranium.
Oh, yes.
We'll never know the damage that's done in Iraq and Afghanistan and wherever. These poor troops, the soldiers come back committing suicide 10, 12, 15 a day.
Sure.
And what is that from? I mean, they were exposed to a lot of this stuff.
Right. It was a weapon that was even killing anybody that was around it. You know, of course, that Philip Berrigan's last plowshares was depleted uranium plowshares. Do December 19th, 1999, he and 3 others went out to this air base in Essex, Maryland, that had Warthogs. These are the planes that actually fired depleted uranium. In that particular trial, Jim Smith, the judge, former county executive, would not allow them to present a defense. So the courts are complicit. We were talking earlier, some of our friends are going on trial at the Y-12 plant that they went into. The trial is May 7th in Missouri. And these people are trying to speak out against the nuclear weapons, armament, research, development, etc., and they're facing sabotage charges. And all 3 of them are senior citizens. They could be in prison for the rest of their lives after this trial. So there are people speaking out all over the country. We're doing our part right here on the Winding Park Bridge in Baltimore, Maryland, on April 22nd, Earth Day.
I remember when the Baltimore City Council passed a resolution opposing the Iraq War, and the Baltimore Sun paper in an editorial mocked them
Yes,
for passing that resolution.
Right. And you probably remember, Maryland, as far as I know, was the only state to have both senators vote against the Iraq War. I'm very proud of that. We managed to get 3 of our 8 representatives in the state of Maryland that voted against the Iraq War. So there were some people that did speak out, did recognize the madness, but it's continuing. The Afghanistan war is the longest war in U.S. history. It's beyond my comprehension that both of these countries still have military people, and people are being killed on a daily basis. All of the damage that's being done, sex slaves in Iraq, refugees, millions of people had to leave the country, and even today our President Obama is calling it a democracy in Iraq. It's a tragedy to call either Afghanistan or Iraq democracies. The United States did not build democracies there. They destroyed both countries, and the wars continue.
Anything else, Max?
Well, the human suffering just gets to me. It's so difficult to deal with this. So difficult. I sympathize very much with what happened to the people in Boston. It's just unbelievable what I saw on CNN and other news sources. Yet things like that are going on around the world, wherever the United States is. I just sent out an article to my e-list this morning about how the United States has resumed drone attacks in Yemen. Is there a declaration of war with Yemen? I'm not aware of it. I haven't heard of Congress approving any of these wars. And yet we're using drones to kill people in Yemen. And then they tell us they're terrorists. How do I know? Was there a trial? Was anybody presenting any evidence that these were terrorists? It's criminal, and we have to wake up. And Earth Day is a great day to wake up, so we came out here at 7:30 in the morning. We'll be here for another hour or so, letting the people coming into the city of Baltimore that we've got to stop depending on it.
Okay, thanks so much, Max.
Thanks for being out here, Bill.
Now.